Hello, cosmic beings. Welcome to Being Cosmick. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I am so glad that each and every one of you are here. Oh. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your assistance in co creating these messages. And also, thank you for the engagement on the channel. The likes, shares, comments, subscribes, and the donations. They all really help out. So, thank you, thank you, thank you. And also, if you're interested in a personal reading from me, there is a link to my Etsy store in the description box below. My Etsy store is Divine Devon. So if you're feeling called to, you can check those out. And let's see what Spirit has for you today. Okay. Okay, so we've got Summer and Honor the Throne. Okay. So there could be something important about summer. This is also talking about celebrating your achievements and honoring your milestones. So what I'm getting right away is to sometimes, especially on the spiritual journey, it's one of those like you're always looking kind of for the next thing that, what else needs to be healed? What new thing can I bring into my life to help? Those kinds of things. We oftentimes just get so focused on that forward movement, that growth, that progress, being our best version in every now moment. And it's a really powerful thing to take a minute and to really kind of reflect on how far you've come on the journey. Even if you just went through a spiritual awakening, think about your life and all of the events that inevitably led to you being here. Um, I'm being drawn to I haven't seen this show in a very long time, but it's called The Magicians. And in there was one of the characters. They're at a school to learn how to do magic, and one of the characters was talking to the main character, and she was like, magic comes from pain. And so, magic doesn't always come from pain, for sure. Your spiritual abilities and things like that. Oftentimes, it's the painful moments that we go through that are really kind of part of the initiation process. So you can even look at, some of those traumas and breakups and losses and things like that, and kind of look at it from that different lens as catalysts to get you to this point of questioning things, and really kind of pushing you onto the spiritual path or the awakening path of, however you are going through that right now. Okay, and then we've got Honor the Crone. So this is embracing the wisdom of experience. The crone in this card embodies the essence of wisdom, urging you to reflect on the lessons learned throughout your journey. That's fun confirmation. It's always nice when that happens. Um, so yeah, this is really, talking about that. Trust in your ability to draw upon this wisdom as you navigate new challenges and opportunities. Celebrate your growth and lessons that have shaped your essence. By honoring your past, you illuminate the path to your future. That's really cool. Okay. Whoa. Okay, dokie. Wow. We're gonna go ahead and hold it there. Oh. Okay, so we've got a lot going on. Holy moly. So we've got Hear the Whispers of Your Intuition. So what I'm picking up from this one is you could be going through a lot of us on this journey are kind of getting our asses kicked right now with ascension symptoms and new levels of awakening and things like that. And what happens is each time you go through that process, your intuition gets just more on point, more accurate. You continue to build that relationship with your intuition, and then that becomes the guiding compass of your life. So yeah, so if you I feel like you probably already are connecting with your intuition. Um If not, or if you're still kind of second guessing it, just know that it's like building a relationship or like building a muscle at the gym. It takes time, and sometimes it doesn't feel good when you're building that muscle and strengthening that muscle. Sometimes it's, a little painful when you're lifting really heavy and pushing your muscles beyond that target zone. Um, Same kind of thing when you're talking about developing these spiritual gifts. It can be sometimes a little bit painful or unpleasant or uncomfortable, but it's just part of that strengthening process. Um, okay. And then we'll talk about that first. We've got the universe. And when I read that, I heard the universe is inside of you. So maybe you're coming to a place on the journey where you're starting to realize that the true as within so without concept, really understanding that the all the things that make up the universe is also within the self. So that divine spark. Um, it says you are held and supported, your life is abundant. Take a moment to appreciate the vastness of the universe and the powerful perspective it offers. You are a vital part of something much larger than yourself, a spark of light in an ever expanding cosmos. This connection to the infinite grants you a sense of belonging and purpose, reminding you that your life is rich with blessings, opportunities, and resources waiting to be discovered. Trust in the support of the universe. Embrace the synchronicities, serendipities, and blessings that come your way, knowing they are signs of the universe's abundant love for you. Even when faced with challenges, remember you are part of this grand cosmic design and everything is unfolding as it should. So, yeah, this is that, trust the process and also realize that, you're a conscious creator. And that's due to that spark of divinity within you and the human design and everything else. We're literally little creator beings walking around this planet, which is pretty cool. Um, and then we've got the council. So this is representing a group of beings that you can call on or even channel that kind of reside in the realm of like the Akashic records. And so for some of you, you could be tapping into your own channeling abilities. A good way to kind of do this, one, you want to clear yourself of, low vibrational stuff, any cords and, all of that. So, do a good cleansing and clearing something, however, you do that. Get into that kind of protected space. Put your intention that you're only going to connect with beings that are for your highest good. And then you can do an automated writing session. And so you can actually like write, or you can even use like a computer or something and type. Um, and and that will kind of start to flow through this type of an energy. And it's one of those things when you first start doing it, it can kind of be weird because you're just like randomly writing and then just write down whatever comes through, whatever comes to mind, just write it down. When it switches subjects, go with it. And then when you go back and you read it, you can actually kind of start to pick up on the differences of the energies that are coming through. And just be mindful if it's real negative stuff that's coming through. Oftentimes that's going to be ego driven. Um, but it can also, we do live in a realm of duality, and so sometimes you can pick up on, what we would term like a lower vibrational being or something of that nature, but it's nothing scary. You have free will, you have authority over your energy, you have sovereignty. And so if you find yourself pulling through stuff like that, just next time when you do it, just, keep that intention. And sometimes even when it kind of goes on that ego ramble, that's also an opportunity for you to kind of look at it and be like, "Oh, this is some subconscious stuff that's coming through for me to look at and address." So it's all part of the process. Um, but especially at first, if when you first start doing this, it can be a little weird. But the more you do it, same kind of thing, it's building that skill. It's building that relationship with your ability to pull through this higher guidance. And then we've got the inner witch. And I don't know what that means. Um, so it says being a witch is a part of you, and you don't have to identify with being a witch or doing spells or anything like that. This is more of just the magical ability that humans have to be conscience creators, and we create through all sorts of different ways, and we can tap into the magic of other realms, so to speak. And it just depends on your level of understanding how you kind of put terms to it. It's all an attempt to explain the same kind of thing. Working with energy, working in the quantum realm, things of that nature. And then like the witch stuff, oftentimes that's more using like earthly, the power of the elements and things like that. And again, when we're talking about the witch thing or magic, just know it's pretty eh, just like with a lot of things in our society, the negative side of that gets a lot more exposure and talked about a lot more than, the good side of it. And just know that the good side of this is like 90%, there's a lot more people who do these kinds of things that do it with respect to things like free will and harming none and so on and so forth. So anyways, that was a whole little rant, but um, this is a powerful moment of awakening to your true essence. Whether you're just beginning to discover your inner witch or returning to the sacred path, remember you can always start again, shedding the expectations of the past and stepping into a new chapter. So this is really inviting you to take those first steps toward embracing the magic within. Trust your intuition. It is your guide as you navigate this path, lighting the way forward. Your journey will have phases of growth and rest, light and shadow. Embrace each phase with openness, knowing that transformation often begins in the dark. Remember that your thoughts are powerful and your words carry the energy of manifestation. Speak with intention and trust that the universe is listening. You are never alone. Both the world around you and the magic within you will offer their guidance. Trust in the wisdom you hold and let this moment be the start of something profound. That's really cool. Okay. What else wants to come through? What else wants to come through? Spirit. Oh, how we're doing this one. There it is. Okay, we've got ignition and fire. And what I heard when I saw that was transformation through fire. And then I also heard flame. So I'm just gonna leave that there. But I did hear flame. So for those of you that that's for, hopefully it resonates. Um, hmm, let's see here. Know that you are safe and held. Everything is falling into place. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it's supposed to, and all is well in the great design of life. Surrender any worries or anxieties you may be carrying and allow yourself to rest in the knowledge that you are supported every step of the way. Even in moments of uncertainty or chaos, remember there is a divine order at play. Trust in the wisdom of the universe to guide you toward your highest good and deepest fulfillment. Release the need to control outcomes and surrender to the flow of life's unfolding journey. Which I feel like that's just confirming um the other parts of this message. Okay, we've got fury and bushfires. This is talking about allowing those energies such as anger and rage to move through you in a productive way. Um, yeah. Hmm. So, okay, for some of you, suppressed anger could be part of what's blocking your ability to fully tap in and channel some of this energy. So, if that's for you, it's just one of those things. Maybe do some research on like healthy ways to express anger, stuff like that, and then allow yourself to kind of tap in and let that emotion flow. It's a moving energy. It wants to move. Um, it wants to be, released. And once you release it and clear it, then you're going to be more of this kind of open channel. And your intuition will, once you release suppressed emotions of any kind, really, your intuition will go through a level up. And some of your gifts and things will go through a level up as well. So just know that. There is a divine purpose for a lot of this. One of those. Okay. All right, we're gonna do one of these. Maybe two. Okay. We've got the Oak King and the Holly King. Um, I'm also feeling a lot of heat right now, like rising through my body. I've been, just a little personal insight. I've been going through a major Kundalini upgrade of some sort. I already had a Kundalini awakening a while ago. But this is a new level of it. So that might be confirmation for some of you. Even if you're here, if you're watching this a year later from when I posted it, it's just the energy is resonant with you and all of my messages are timeless. So maybe there's somebody that is going through some sort of a Kundalini, either awakening or another activation, something like that. And that also is reminding me of this fire thing, where you feel that internal heat. And when the Kundalini rises, I'll probably do a totally different video on it, but when the Kundalini rises, it will release a ton of blocks. It will illuminate a bunch of suppressed, repressed emotions. It will illuminate things like generational cycles and patterning, or you can also, I've heard it termed lots of different things, but it's just those generational cycles and patterns, karma, curses, whatever you want to term it. It's just a way that, the family lineage has been doing certain things for so long, it gets passed down to each generation until somebody comes in and clears it. Well, if you're on this journey and you're going through all of this, you are one of these curse breakers or generational cycle breakers. Um, and there's a lot of us on the planet right now because we're going through this huge shift. Okay, let's see. Where's my Oh, I put it over here. That's right. It's the fun thing about reorganizing. You forget where you put stuff sometimes. At least I do. I'll speak for myself. Okay. The Oak King and Holly King. Change is inevitable, and when something is finished, you must let it go. The old must be released so that the new can take shape. The natural seasons of your life will come to pass no matter what. When it's time to leave, when your work is done, surrender with grace and move on. Embrace the opportunity for growth and change. Um, So it's a timely transition. Yeah, and that really does go with that type of an energy that I was talking about, tapping into your gifts and abilities in a new way. Allowing that transformational fire to move through you, allowing those suppressed emotions to be released. Um, Okay, another thing, right when I said suppressed emotions, s- somebody must be calling through this message. So hopefully this resonates for you. Only take it if it does. Um, we don't need to feel everything that was suppressed. Oftentimes, feeling is healing and all of that, and you'll be called to like feel it. There's a lot of times though when we mentally process it and then it's stuck in the body. So there's the book The Body Keeps the Score. Forgot the author. That's a really good book. And then there's also The Body Code. And this was the main one that I was thinking of. I've got the book right here. So that's this one. If you're interested in it, it's really, really awesome. He also this author did the emotion code and then kind of leveled up the entire thing into the body code. And so sometimes you'll have physical stuff, and then there's a clearing process that he does. There's also, I don't know if they're called practitioners. What would they be called? Um, it's people who are certified in the program, and then they will be able to do the clearing on you. But if you get the book, it walks you through how to do it for yourself, and there's pros and cons to both. But if you're feeling called to check that out, it's very, very beneficial. It can actually help your body and your energetic system to release stuff that was picked up from, your parents, when you were in the womb, even like all this stuff that can affect us, and we have no idea where it's coming from or anything like that. That can kind of help illuminate a little bit of where it's coming from, but and then also release it very, very quickly, very easily, very naturally. Um and you don't have to like feel it. It's pretty incredible stuff. So yeah. Anyways, now we're gonna look at Tea with the Fawn. Spend some one on blah. Spend some time one on one with a good friend, even if it's long distance. Make a point of listening as well as opening your own heart. Establishing and reestablishing good, solid friendships help you remember who you are and what is most important in your life. This is talking about true friendship, confidences, hospitality, one on one conversations, and comforting company. Okay, so I had a small interruption. It happens. So I kind of lost track of exactly where we are with this. But really, I feel like right now, with this last card coming out, the Tea with the Fawn, if there's somebody that you feel could help you on this journey right now, I feel like this is your message to reach out to them. Even if it's a workshop or a digital course or a life coach or a spiritual coach or whoever, a friend, somebody who maybe you're being called to reconnect with, something of that nature. I feel like there's a person that you're being called to connect with that can help you kind of process some of what's going on right now. Because it can be very disorienting, it can be very confusing, it can be very just when we go through the awakening, there's lots of phases, there's lots of different experiences, and nobody is going to have the exact same experience, but there's quite a few people, especially now, who are talking about certain experiences, things like that, and then, our mentors and stuff like that. They can really just assist you to kind of help you get your bearings. And the more you walk the path, the less disorienting it is, because it's just kind of one of those, like, what's going on, and maybe you haven't experienced it quite like this, but you'll have more of the conceptual stuff of what's going on. So especially when it starts hitting the physical body, that can be very alarming. And that's where really being able to tap into your intuition, tap into your body, and seeing what's going on from that lens can really help. And the more you go through these ascensions, the more you go through certain experiences, the more you'll start to be able to discern, like, no, this is how my body acts when it's an energetic upgrade. This is how my body acts when it's fighting off, a foreign agent, a bacteria, virus, whatever. Um, and so, it's one of those things like it will it's a process, it's a journey. So embrace the journey. Okay, well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and leave this message here. I hope it helped. If anything resonated, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear about it. Um, and if you like this message, feel free to hit that like button. It does help out the channel. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you would like to hear more from me, you can hit subscribe. It is free, and I will see you on the next message. Bye.